how long did it take you to write that round?
A few days.
Just a
A
few
few
days.
days.
That's not a long time, man.
Oh nah, man. I'm. But usually I write a battle in 30 minutes though. I usually write raps really fast.
Right.
I get through a whole battle really, really fast.
Wow.
While you was using pins on your essays, they was making shakes using pins on the essays. I grew up around Crips, Bloods, and Threshes. They use ghost guns. I watch them melt the cereal without leche.
My very first interview on the channel, and you said that you could write a battle in just one afternoon. For our culture, that's crazy, man. And that even
Yo,
started
I wrote the
like
EJ Power battle in about an hour.
about an hour.
About an hour. I swear to God.
First off, let's not get this shit confused. I'm here because I'm that nigga Cali Smoov. You're here because you get a lot of views. And since that's the case, then the strap stashed in the car with a long scope, since he an international star. So y'all think dude from the Philippines gonna fuck around and put Smoov in a guillotine? My movements when in a ring bout smooth like I'm Billie Jean. Who said that this was free? I need guap. Think old heads at the liquor store. EJ about to get hit with a cheap shot.
That's
Look, at first I
fucking
didn't know what to
crazy,
say,
man.
right? I didn't know what to say, right? I was like, what do I say, right? Because there's no research I can do.
No, not at all.
No research I can do or nothing.
You can learn
So I didn't
Tagalog
write.
if you want.
Usually I write the first day. I get the battle. Like, that's when I write the battle the first day. I say yes because my anxiety gets to me. But this one wasn't like that. I just kind of just sat back. And then one day, it will say, God touched my shoulder and said, this is what you say. I picked up my phone and I wrote all 3 rounds. Yeah, I think I memorized in like an hour or two, no cap. And I was done with that battle like before the flyer was out. I was completely written, memorized. I got another battle lined up too. I can't even announce yet, but we getting everything finalized with that.
Well, in the Spanish-speaking countries, to have like 100 written battles, that's nuts, man. So it's a lot. So I wanted to ask you about your creative process. How do you write a battle? How long does it take you from scratch?
I mean, for me, it's real easy because, you know, I'm used to the freestyle era. So when I write, I usually just think of bars, you know, like I was freestyle battling. And if I like it, I'll just save it in my head or save it in my phone now. And then I'll just keep doing that. Voice memos, write it down for like a week straight. And then by the end of the week, I might have like 100, 200 bars. And it's probably too much. So then I got to, you know, shorten it and put it into rounds afterwards. So my writing process is really fast, you know. It don't take me long at all. As long as I have like a week, I can prepare. You know, there's a lot of guys that need a month. They need to sit there. They need to write. They need to put it together a different way. Some people write their whole round. I usually just put all the little pieces out. And then when I'm done and I feel like I have enough in my head, I'll go back to it and then put it into rounds. So, you know, real fast though. For me, some people, I know it's different, but yeah.
You ain't dumb. This is a setup. Man, before y'all ever got sick verse Storm, he been under the weather. My name flooding forever. Hope you brung an umbrella. I'll knock your teeth out and leave your gums bumping together. Boy, I'll leave you dead. Don't test me this ever. You can be the next bitch killed in plain sight. Jenny Rivera. Soy leyenda, guerrero. From here to Venezuela, like Cancelbero. I know.
He's high.
Yo, prendo vela en el guero que te deja en el suelo. Soy estrella para ellos cuando yo rapeo oro como sello de modelo. Most of y'all won't get that. Don't settle. If he say he on my level, that's big cap. Sombrero.
More about that. How do you do it with memorizing every single round?
Oh man, see, that's a easy, luckily.
Hmm.
You know, and that's a different thing though. In the freestyle, it's no pressure. You know what I'm saying? You
Hmm.
don't gotta memorize. Usually there's a beat, so you just can rely on your flow and you're going. But when you have it written down, you don't want to forget because you wrote something so good. So if you did forget it, you don't want to just freestyle. You kind of freestyle a little bit, trying to remember what you wrote because you don't want to just let it go. It's like one take and it's got to be perfect.
Exactly.
So like, you know, it's for me to memorize, it's just like a song.
Hmm.
And you know, if you got a song you play it over a million times in your head, it's gonna be your favorite song. For me, that's how I remember battles. The problem is if I have too much time, like I said, like if I have a month,
Hmm.
I'll hear that so much, I'll start to think it sucks. You know, you get tired of the song.
Hmm.
So you start to question yourself and shit.
Yeah.
But you know, everybody's
How do you
different.
do it? How do you
Yeah.
write about it from scratch?
Yeah, man. So before, when I first started, I needed, no lie, bro, I think I needed like 3 months at least, bro. And I'm talking about writing the material, and then I needed like at least a month of just like rehearsing.
Hmm.
And even that was pushing it. But you got to think about it. Anything that you do, the more you do it, the better you're going to get done, the better you're going to get at it. The problem with me though is like, I did get better, but then I started, at the time I was super motivated. I was like, I'm battling DNA. I got to go ahead and write all this stuff. Now, if I was to battle DNA today, bro, no lie, this is Tomas, no exaggeration, bro. I probably write for him for 2 days. It'll probably take me 2 days to write for him. But
That's great.
here's the problem though. It wouldn't be just 2 days. It would literally be 2 days before the battle.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, because you know, you want to, like, and don't get me wrong, I still want to get done early because it does allow me to perform better. It does allow me to be a little more confident. Even this past weekend, you know, like for Kid Chaos, he probably was prepared for me, you know, well before the battle. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't have another battle. I was battling before him, after him. I had all these different battles that I was doing. But you know, I wrote for him in 2 days and memorized it. And now, granted, my performance wasn't as clean as I would like it to be. But if you're just asking, like, how long does it take? Like, that's all it takes for me now. Now, granted, I do want to get, but that's because, you know why? It's the motivation. Before, I would be so motivated. Now, the only thing that motivates me is the pressure. It's like when your teacher says, yo, you have a test on Friday. You probably don't study until Wednesday or Thursday because you know that the test is coming up. For me, I know the battle is coming up and I feel it. And now I start writing. And so my process, I teach it, I almost treat it like an essay. Each round, you know, my first round is a paper, my second round is paper, third round, and I have 3 different topics. And so what I'll do is I'll listen to their interviews. I'll try to assume what they're going to say to me, or I will watch their past battles. What do they like to do? Do they like to punch? Do they like to scheme? Do they like to angle? Do they like to joke? What is it that's good? And I try to neutralize it somehow. And I come up with different punchlines, different topics to talk about, and make sure that, you know, I'm still Loso, I'm still doing me. And so as I'm, I would say, as I am going towards the finish line of the writing process, I have a group of friends that I'll call. I'll be like, yo, what do you think about this? Is this good? Is this good? And those guys, and I make sure that the ones that I'm calling are honest with me. They'll be like, nah, Loso, that's not good. Delete it. No, take that out. No, you're just rambling. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't, because I know for sometimes I could be rushing my material, and I also know that I could be blind to my own self-centeredness, where I just think that everything I put out is great. So I need other people, other ears that are like, okay, Loso, that's not really that good. Now, granted, I still tell battle rappers, nah, like your art is your art, and you want to put out what you believe is good. But sometimes, you know, you just want, like, you know, those extra ears of people who are not yes men and who's going to be honest with you, and they want you to do better. So that's in a nutshell. That's my writing process.
See, he matrixed some of y'all, but the key I knew was trusting in the Trinity. Wait, hold up, Keanu, Trinity, boy, you gotta read these lines. Matrix, Keanu, Trinity, boy, you gotta read these lines. It's just funny, your last battle at hand, I saw red pill him and it still ain't free your mind.
That's impressive, man. That's impressive. In fact, when I interviewed Cali Smoov, that was the very first interview on my channel, he was talking about that he only need 1 day to write a whole battle. And many people in Spanish, they don't believe it. But now they are going to believe it, because Johnny Storm said almost the same thing as you are saying. So for them, it's nuts because they need, like at least 1 week or 3 months, 2 months.
At least. And the thing about it though is like even guys like Cali Smoov and Jonny Storm, I think that they like if Cali decided to sit down, right, and write write around, I think he can do it today. Like he can do that. Me, when I say like, yo, it only takes me like a day or two, like it's because I'm just not, I don't know, I'm just not like motivated or like or just thinking of things. But when I start clicking, I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Boom. And I get it done, and it's almost a battle. But I think
very super creative. You always think and you always do something outside the box completely. So I wanted to ask you this: how your writing process has changed since that first battle to the last battle you had?
That's an interesting question. Because like my last battle felt kind of like in the vein of what my first battle felt like. And I've had moments like that throughout my career where I think, yeah, this is why I have to keep going, because I can almost keep recreating these moments in their own way. And, you know, my first battle, when I was writing for it, I was in a place in life where it's all I had to write. All I had was to write. This is all I'm going to do. This is all I'm going to devote whatever time I have to this and make this, even though I didn't know the extent of what battle rap was, and there was still a lot I had to learn. And eventually, you know, I'll get it. But this last battle, I just knew a lot going into it. Just I know now kind of the landscape of battle rap, and everyone has their own opinions on how certain things should go. But there's an IQ that you can hold. Like you have an entire podcast devoted to this. So you know, if I were to bring up something about like leagues down in your side where you're at and shit, like I would even have to start learning about that. You know, there's like the UK scene, everything. There's certain things where it keeps unfolding. So, but at the point of my last battle, I feel like I had a good understanding of my landscape where I'm at over here. And whereas when I've had my first battle, it didn't feel that way necessarily. Like I didn't understand what I was walking into, but that's what felt more exciting to me. And like what I'm about to show everybody, let's hope it works. Because if I would have went in there and flopped, I never would have battled again. Exactly. You know, and now if I like go in there and have a bad battle, which my whole goal is to never have a bad battle, is you know, I wouldn't stop now.
And how do you address your rounds, for instance? What are your ideas in order to battle against someone? Like what is the first thing that you think, or how long does it take you from scratch to write to someone?
From scratch, yeah, because you write from scratch, I imagine too, right? When you write your shit, like there's a level of just there's certain things that you know to talk about already, like name flips. Yeah. Like automatically I'm trying to write certain name flips, and sometimes it's in a wordplay sort of way, sometimes it's for the context of whatever I'm talking about, the concept that I'm bringing up, or the angle that I'm trying to use, and then it starts to just kind of grow from there. You know, I like certain rhyme patterns, and sometimes when I write out a rhyme pattern, there's a bar within that leads to what I'm saying, and I try to think about it like more consciously when I'm writing things. Like I don't just like to rhyme anything with anything. And that's something that I think people give me a lot of flack for, is being a lyrical miracle sort of rapper, which I guess to an extent I am, just because I use a lot of syllables, and you know, the way I see the time of it and how I want to put everything together, it tends to be that way. But there's also things where it's like, no, this fits perfectly, I need to use this, and you know, it just kind of stacks on top of itself eventually. I don't write straight through anything. That's one thing I don't ever really do. It's like a puzzle piece, or like puzzle pieces to an entire picture sort of thing for me.
Well, since you were talking about name flips, let's talk about your battle against Fate, because that was fire, man. I was looking at it like, what the fuck, man?
But your name's Fate, right? Well, it feels as though everything fails at times expectedly. Do that. Friends are turning enemies, so I forget about the empathy. Yo. Fuck around till eventually you find out about that energy. Spoiled at your peak, failing at the epitome. If fate thinks this destiny, I'm the future altering time entity. Go! Forward advancement takes experience.
Let's go, Jack. Keep going.
So for any trial and error, I am finding answers by testing experiments. I am fighting against their expectations. So I factored all the equations to find a truthful explanation. You are fodder applied towards entertainment. Feelings, actions, thoughts, expressions. Getting wasted is how fate will be found at the edge. Soul finally ascending towards elevation.
And he keeps going and going. Like, how did you come up with that?
So with that one I was inspired by somebody who had done it in a similar fashion, but to me when I watched it, because I liked it when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. You know, I'm laughing. And, you know, but I thought at the end of it, because I watched it multiple times, I thought at the end of it, nah, man, there's a way to do this, but better. There's a way to do this where I can have something that means something at the end of it.
Yeah.
And so that's, you know, I did. And that was one thing I wanted to keep in mind when I was doing it is don't write out like every single, there's a lot of fate flips that I just took out. It didn't make sense to have it there. I wanted to keep it very like boom, boom, say all the ones that matter and then say why you did it at the very end. And that was like where the show fate stands for nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And, like customized or tailored.
Exactly. And that's, I forget where I saw it at, but there was a interview from somebody where they said that like when you have a punch, people punch all the time, but being direct is the biggest thing here. And not enough people are direct nowadays, you know? So if I'm going to do a bunch of fate flips, I'm going to make sure that punch at the very end is direct, even though I'm punching within it in its own way. You know, it's saying things that you can kind of interpret, but at the very end, I need to have something that connects all of that to why I even did it.
Exactly. And one of the most interesting things about you, in my opinion, is that you sometimes like you choose an angle and you hit it and hit it and hit it and hit that like in different ways, and it's so amazing to see how creative you are. So did you watch someone doing that, like, or did you admire some other cat doing that before you?
You know, and that's for like the whole like I watched a lot of SoulCon because it just seems like he was always angling, or he always was talking something that was right there. You know, for all the like gay jokes that he used, he also worked like certain angles in that just went against your character. And I always thought that was like, you know, R.I.P. Pat Stay, same thing, man. He had this way of just finding an angle and working the shit out of it to where it's like it makes you look like less of a person. And I always thought that's an essence of battle rap that, I mean, even Geechee does it. You know, I like Geechee a lot for that reason. You know, he finds an angle and he really like puts you in a corner with it. Really just like says what he's got to say about it. And I don't know, there's something to the essence of hip hop for me that sometimes, you know how they say it's like, you know, if you don't rap, it doesn't mean it's not real. You know, it don't gotta be real to rap, or it don't gotta rap to be real. Like, or when it's real, it don't gotta rap, or whatever, however you want to look at that. But that's that essence that I like for a lot of it. And so I wouldn't say that I just, you know, take away from everything and just do those exact things. I emulate, and I try to be those things in my own way, because I have my own thoughts, I have my own opinions, I have ways that I want to talk about certain things. And you know, there's lines to be crossed, which I've learned that too. So there's like just certain things I've just learned how to do over the years to make sure that I say the thing how I mean it and people feel it.
And I wanted to talk also about your creative process. How do you write about it? How long does it take you from scratch?
It could take me a week, or it could take me a month. It really depends on the opponent. It depends on the research I'm doing. It depends on a lot of things. If I have another battle lined up, you know, what's more important, you know, which at sometimes, some battles are more important than others, and you're preparing, so it's a lot of variables. But as far as my process to create for a battle, it's always the same. I do my research. If I met the person before, I'm gonna rap about what I actually think of you. I'm not gonna make up a story and say, "Hey, I met your mother," and you know what I mean, and she was with your brother, and I'm not gonna do that. If I look at you and I know you're a bozo, you're a lame, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm like, yo, you're a bozo, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna give my honest opinions, and if I don't have nothing bad to say about you, then I'm just gonna out rap you, because I still feel like no matter what, with my pen, I'm one of the best flat out rappers in the world. You know, it's time and time again proven. I've been in this 15 years, and people can't just beat me flat out with a pen. So I'm so confident in that I can always rely on my lyricism, and then just my opinions about you. So I'll break it down and mix it up, and you know what I mean, and it just happens every time.
There you go. Dope. And I have another question from another battle cat. He's a Chilean battle cat. His name is Basek. Shout out to him as well. And he has this question about how do you address angles and your rival's weaknesses during the battle?
How I address angles is, if it's a strong enough angle, I'm gonna talk about it. Like recently, I just battled Kid Slade. Everyone's talking about he had snitch allegations and paperwork on him. I did my own research. Found out it was his brother, not him. But he still was defending his brother. And in the streets, we don't defend snitches. So I created that angle. Okay, I'm gonna do something different. I'm not gonna say you're a snitch. I'm gonna break down the actual facts of the case and what's going on and talk to you about it. And I've been doing that since the beginning, no matter who it was. If it was SoulCon, if it was Conceited, if it was Hollahan, if it was Disaster, if it was Twerk, I've always had those angles where I'm going to talk about what you do specifically and how you're involved in it. I feel like angles and making sure they're directed at your opponent is so important to making the battle great. If you keep it too generic, it's just rapping. But the angles and the direct responses to that person is what makes it a battle.
They told me you real out here. So fuck it, you all dead. Court gon' judge them with their hammer, so fuck what the law says. Like a Dickie suit and a tatted bald head, the real essays in the West all stand with Cortez.
Very good. Dope. Yeah, exactly. And I have another question from another battle cat, Chilean battle cat as well. His name is Blast. Shout out to him. And this is very specific question because it's about a battle you had on Verbal Warzone with Beat against Butter from the Block.
Oh,
yeah,
Butter from the Block.
Exactly.
I smoked him.
And that was pure fire, man.
I said, you ain't a killer, you still learning how to walk. The machine to his stories learning how to talk. Your light flash for your eyes, it's your final thoughts. Won't get the picture till you're drawn outside with chalk. Chop off hands, fools be hard to reach. Cats give pounds, but they won't lift an arm for me. I got a part in me, guns from the armory. I don't need all of these, 4 in this hold I squeeze. I make it hard to breathe, chrome like heart disease. Butter, high cholesterol, these bullets clog arteries.
And his question is, do you think that adding a beat added something else to your performance? And what do you think about battles with beat?
There's 2 parts to that question. Beat battles are fun. It's much more fun. It opened up a new Cortez, let's say. It allowed me to be a rapper's rapper, which I'm always am. A lot of people, after that battle realized I make music. It helped my music sales. It helped my streams. So off the rip, it just made people look at me in a different light. But for sure, battles on beats are an animal. It's a whole different wave. I'm actually working on something to start bringing that more to the light. So all you guys, if you guys are interested, make sure they hit me. Everybody that's asked a question today, make sure to hit my Instagram. Contact me. Like, my doors are open, especially for people of our culture in this culture, in battle rap culture. You know, I feel like more Latinos need more representation, you know, and
For
that's
sure.
another thing I want to start doing. So as far as beat battles, advice, you know, all this stuff, I want to do this to give you guys the knowledge to the next generation could get and take this thing further, you know. So beat battles is something I definitely going to work on myself, seeing a response from it. And I feel like, yeah, it just opened up, it unlocked a new level of Cortez, you know. I mean, people just didn't know how good of a writer I was, but actually on beat, creating flows, switching patterns, cadences, it set the bar.
For sure. That's pure fire, man. That's a huge battle. So go and check it out if you haven't seen it yet.
Come on.